Hello my crafty friends, Corrine here from Corrine Crafts. This is the second project that I have done using my December Colour Challenge palette. Isn't this gorgeous? These greens, orange, yellows, limes and white. That's the colour palette for December. A lovely, lovely contrast to Christmas. I mean, you might have, this is your Christmas colours, but I just felt it was lovely. It's a sort of anticipation of the new year and the new colours. And this is the card that I have made as my second project, all using Julie Hickey's Fresh Floral collection. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? And you'll see it's a perfect match for my colours. I've made it using alcohol pens. I'm going to show you how it's done in the video now. So I think we should just get on and have a look. I have been so excited to actually get and do this second project. I loved the first project that I did for my December Colour Challenge, but oh my goodness me, this second one is really up my street. It's just absolutely perfect. So I'm really excited to be able to show you this. Just as a reminder, here is the colour palette for December. We have sage, tangerine, lemon, lime and white. Absolutely gorgeous. You can see it makes a beautiful colour palette. As I said before, please excuse this if that looks a little blurred. My printer was playing up, but I just wanted to get the colours printed out for you. But if you remember, I'm going to just bring in, that was the card we made for the first project. Forget that, but you can see how we met that colour challenge absolutely perfectly. I'm going to make this second one and then I'm going to ask you if this one matches it too. So I am going to be using, let's put those to one side. I'm going to be using these sets of stamps. So this is the Fresh Floral stamp set along with the Fresh Florals die. As you can see, they're from Julie Hickey Designs. Julie very kindly sent me these and I just absolutely love her products. I have never come across a stamp of Julie's that does not stamp beautifully. The quality of the stamps is absolutely amazing. It says high quality polymer stamps and they truly are. They stamp like a dream. So what I want to do is I want to show you how to stamp with perspective. So what we're going to do is we're going to stamp overlaying the stamps one on top of the other. When you stamp, for me, when I first did this, I was thinking, all right, you start at the back and then you'll build it up. No, we have to start at the front and work backwards. And I'll show you why. But I don't like flat cards. Personally, it's just me. I like with dimensions. So we are going to stamp with perspective and then we are going to do some detail on it to make it dimensional as well. So I'm going to be using these two. I'm going to be using the leaves and I'm probably going to use this small one. The only one I'm not going to really focus on is these two here. Now, when I was prepping one, I didn't use these dots and actually I was laying in bed, as you do, and I thought, why are you not using these? Because these would be brilliant. Instead of using gems and pearls, look, they're all in little threes. You know, I'd always talk about 1s, 3s and 5s, so they're all in threes. I think these are going to be brilliant as an accessory. They're going to get used with this set and without. Then you get the dies, and the dies fit perfectly over the stamps so that you can cut them out with a nice little white border. So we're going to do both of those. Okay, so I think we should just crack on. So I have some Nina cardstock. So it is just an alcohol colouring cardstock. Now I'm going to bring this back in again and I'm going to show you what we're going to use. We're going to use burnt orange and I'm going to use sort of that one. Look, can you see? Perfect match. So burnt orange is that. I've got a little scrap of paper here. Let's move that one out of the way so it doesn't leak through. Let me show you. Burnt orange. Brilliant. Perfect match. I'm going to be using my dull green. I'm going to be using, let me remember, that one a little bit, which is a really good sort of match for here. Now, did I need to use that next colour? But again, that is a really good match for my sage, as you can see. For my yellow, I'm going to meet my yellow by using Citrus Blend, that one, and that one together. So that one really is the best one for that, but I like to blend using that. What else have I got? Now I've got them in the regular tri blends as well, because there is a couple of times when I want a bit more of a control. I've also got dull green. Oh, that's That's the same as there. I've got 2 out. Ah, this one, Citrus Blend. So this one is a really, really good one for that match. So yes, I've got all of my 4 colours. My white is going to be my cardstock. So those are the ones we're going to be using. So as you can see on here, citrus green, burnt orange, dull green and citrus blend. So there we go. Those are the ones I want to use. Turn those around so you can see them on. And that's what we're going to do. But I need something to colour first, don't I? So this is what we're going to do. Oh, the other thing I did was I stamped out some of the stamps and then I cut them out. So this has been stamped out onto a masking sheet. So I use this one. I like the Sticks 2 one as well, but I just want to get this one used up and there's still a lot of it left. So this is one that I use. It's not always easy to get off the roll, so I don't always use it. But all I've done is stamped it out and then hand cut them because the die's cut with a border, but I needed them cut close to. You can see I've used this one. They can be used multiple times. So I've just put it onto a piece of acetate. We'll be bringing those back in. I need a stamping platform. I definitely need a stamping platform for this. I'm going to do a little bit with a rocker block as well, but for the main bit I'm going to do a stamping platform. So I put my card on there. I've got a magnet. Now I am going to be stamping colouring, as you saw, with alcohol pens. So I have got my memento. So if you read on the back of the memento, I often look here, see, so it is acid free, fade resistant. This is a bit water based, fast drying ink. Because it's water based, you can use your alcohol pens with it. Opposites attract. If I use this and try to do this effect that I did with the cards yesterday, the black, whoops, everything's falling down. If I tried to use this and then do watercolour over it, it would just all blend. So that's not what I want. Okay, so I've got a cloth because that's where I was going wrong when I was practicing. I didn't have a cloth ready, and I've got my stamp. So I'm going to start with my first stamp. Now remember I said we start on the top layer. So you start with what's going to be most visible. And most visible is going to be this flower. Doesn't matter where you put it, but I'm going to put it slightly off to the left. Pick it up with my platform. Now, I have found I have never had to, apart from if I've done something wrong where I've user error, I've never had to stamp Julie Hickey stamps twice. So I'm going to put that on. I'm going to press. Make sure I press in all the places. And look at that. Absolutely perfect every single time. Now take that off. I'm just going to give it a quick wipe. And then I can put it. I need to take that off. I'll put that there. I'm going to put it here because I will need it again in a few minutes. So what I need to do now, I'm going to use the mask that I've already used. I'm going to put this mask on. The hardest bit I found was matching it up and finding the right way round. So I'm going to pop this completely over that. So what I'm doing is I'm protecting that image, protecting the integrity of that image. Don't worry about all the colour bits on it. That's just me doing it. So the next thing I want to do, I'm going to use this one, which is exactly the same, just a smaller version. So I'm going to find where I want to put it, and I want to put it there. Now you can see they're overlapping. If I hadn't put the mask on, I would end up stamping twice in the same place, and it would look a mess. Press that down, pick up my ink, put it on my stamped image, and then away we go. Press that down onto there, and that's there. Now this is the only time I found I sometimes have to stamp twice, is if the masket isn't pressed down hard enough and it pushes it up. So we'll take that. Then I'm going to find another place. I'm going to pop that one there. I don't want it totally symmetrical, or sort of semi-symmetrical. You can see a little bit of a mark, but that's fine because we're about to stamp over. There we go. Right, now, I was lazy and I stamped this out once, so I have to remember to be careful. So I'm going to get my mask, and I'm going to put my mask over the top when I've worked out which way round it goes. Is that way round? Nope. Might be that way round. It's because I've cut it out by hand, so I've not been the most accurate. That should be fine because I know where I'm going to stamp. I know it's not necessarily the right way around, but it'll do. So I'm going to find that little small flower. I'm going to put that little small flower here, so it's peeping out of there, just like that. And then I'm going to pick that up. Actually, I might, while I'm here, do the leaf as well. So I'll take that off a minute. Put that one, so it's coming out from behind the flower, and then this one's, I just took it off so I can make sure that they don't overlap. Put that one there. I can pick the two up, and honestly they're such good stamps, it's not a problem to do the two. Ink them up and press those down. Now don't worry about what it looks like while you've got all your masking tape on. It's absolutely fine. So that looks brilliant. I have to just keep remembering to wipe my stamps, otherwise I end up I made a mistake before and I marked what I was doing. So I'm going to take that, and like I say, I only did one mask of this one, but it's doable. I'm going to put it over here, remembering the bits that I know. Then I'm going to get, now the great thing is, what I love that Julia's done is these leaves work, they work really well, that you can put them in separate directions. So I'm going to then bring this one to here. Yeah, and then I'm going to get this small flower again and put it just there. So at the moment you can't really see what's going on, but you will in a minute. Put it like that, lift that up, and then ink it up. Now remember, all we're doing is every time we add another layer, we're adding something to the back, not the front, to the back. So we take that and then we lift it up. Okay, just wipe that off while I remember. I'm going to take the masking tape off so that you can see. So you can see that, a little bit of a mess, but as soon as we take that off, look at that, that flower pops behind there. Then I'm going to take this one off. Look at this, it's just a mess of different inked bits here. But as soon as you take that off, look at that. We've now got this one front and focal, then the next layer, then the next layer, and then back it goes. Right, so I'm going to do a bit more, but I thought I would have a go at doing it with my rocker block, because I think these stamps are good enough that I can do that. If it goes wrong, I might regret it. Okay, so I'm going to get a piece of card to stamp onto. I'm going to get my rocker block. So whatever your platform of choice is, put this onto here because I'm going to go off my card. There we go. This is just the piece I've got ready for when I do my colouring. So then I've got this one. So I'm going to stamp this one first, because remember we always do first the image that we want at the front, and then I'm going to, let's just move that over a little bit, work out where I want it, bring it down, and then just stamp. Look at that, perfect. So I'm going to grab the mask. Oh, right way around first time, and put that over. What I might actually do is stamp this one while it's on the rocker block. Then I'm going to stamp it again. And this time we're going to come down here, rest it on there, stamp it onto there. There we go. You can see absolutely perfect. So if you have stamping blocks and you'd rather use those, then it'll work brilliantly. Now that one's going the wrong direction, so I want that one. Yeah, because they do. If I put them in this, that's it. Look, one goes that way and one goes that way. So you can use the one that works right. So I'm going to put that onto here. I'm going to ink it up. Now I've got my mask in place, so I can just come in. I'm going to come off the page again, and I just want a little bit on there. Perfect. Don't worry about this mask getting lots of inky bits on. It's not a problem. All you're doing is using it to mask it off, and as soon as you do that, look, the leaf is coming from behind, so it's absolutely perfect. Get this the right way round. I think that's that way. This has been the hardest bit, is working out which direction the masks are going in. Might not have that completely right, but there we go. So now I'm going to use this one. So this one is going to come, I've not got that right. I can see that bit of leaf, petal. Is it that way? I think that might be it. Why is it not going right? Have I? What have I done? Ah, there, look. As soon as I did that, it seemed to fit into place. There we go. Right, that's it masked up a bit better. I'm actually going to turn it around just because of the way I like to work. So this one goes around that side. I don't want too much, I just want a little bit. So I can just have it coming in. There we go. And then clean that off. I'm dreadful for cleaning off my stamps. And then I go to use them and I mark my page. I'm trying to be mindful. And then you've got this. Now, I wonder if any of you have already had a go with my colour challenge based on the first project. I'd love to know. So there we go. There's my second one. And I can lift up that mask and then you can see. There we are. Look at that. Can you see now? I'm going to put it that way up when I do it. So we've got this gorgeous flower at the top, this lovely display there, and then another one down at the bottom. Okay, right. I'm already on my... oh, I'll tell you what else I need to do. I need to bring this in. Let's quickly do this. And I need to stamp a couple of flowers. I want to show you how they're cut out. One. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oops. Two. I could do the smaller ones as well, but I've already done those, so I'll show you. And then a couple of these leaves. Going 3 and 4. There we go. Right, so they're going to be some of my dimensional elements. Now I've finished with my stamps for now. Oh, did I want to... Just thinking, actually, I'm going to bring it in and I'm going to grab a couple of these little ones, the ones I said that look really good, and I'm just going to pick up a couple. Or do them. I'm just going to go. Oops. Just want to see what that looks like. Oh yes, perfect. Okay. Sentiment. Let's go on there. I could do these in a colour, but I think I'll stick to the black. Take that one off. I might do this one. I like this one. I think it's going to do some more hollowy ones. Let's go on there. Oh no, just straight line. I'm trying to think ahead. I'm going to put a sentiment there and a sentiment there. So I'll just do this one. And then one there. Right. 1s, 3s, 5s. I should have stopped at 3, but I didn't. So there we are. Right, that's my stamping finished. I can put that away. Which bit do I want to do? Thinking on my feet here. Right, so let's do the cutting. So I'll show you how I cut. So there's nothing to cut on here. We're going to cut on here. So I can put my die over the top. Again, it's just twiddling it round till I find... It's not that way. I can see it's not that way. Is it that way? No. That way. Look, I can see on there. Put that with some tape. Where's my tape dispenser? There it is. There we are. So that goes on to here. A little bit of tape. And then this goes that way around. This was the only one I found quite hard to line up, but as long as you line it up roughly, it does work. Now, stamping, cutting and all the rest of it is entirely up to you. It's a very personal choice. I like to stamp, then die cut, then colour. Right, now, one thing I want to say, my mini isn't cutting very well at the moment. I think the rollers have stretched. So if it doesn't cut, it's not the dies, it's my die cutting machine. Oh, that's cut perfectly. So pop that one out, just hold there by the tape. I can put the next one on just as we go. And oh, look at that, absolutely perfect. It's playing up something chronic is my die cutting, this little die cutting machine. It's probably at the end of its life, I think, and really needs a new one. Or perhaps I just need to put new plates in, seeing as these are just like a banana. I'll have to have a look, see if I've got some spare plates. I don't know, actually. I'll have a look. But I love it when you can do things like this in your small machines, instead of getting your electric ones going. Just so much easier, isn't it? Put that there. Right, sorry if this video goes on a little bit, but I think it's going to be worth it to see the colouring. I'm not going to do all the colouring, I'm just going to give you a taste of the colouring. This one. So I've got a couple of those, a couple of leaves, and I will use a few others, but we'll use those in a minute. So first of all, I'm going to bring this one back in now. Right, so I've done my die cutting, I've done my stamping, so we can move all of those out of the way. So that's that done. All right, so let's do some colouring. So first of all, I'm going to get... Now, I'll tell you what I do, is I keep a piece of paper there, because I'm often going, I always have to remind myself of my colours. So I'm going to come in here. Now what I do to this one, I'll do to that one, to that one. So I'm going to show you on this one, and then I'll show you one where I've finished, because otherwise the video really would be very long. So I'm going to come in with my pale yellow, which isn't really on my colour palette, but it will be by the time I've finished, because I'm going lighter to darker. So put this on. So this is just saturating the card, laying down the colour and getting the card ready for the next bit. So we can go on to here. There we go. So that's the first bit. Then I'm going to get... Oops. Did I use... I don't think it's that one. This one. So it's the lightest DG one, dull green one, and I'm just going to do a little bit at the top, just some nice flicky bits there. I'm just going to try that other dull green, because I think that one might be a bit juicier. Dull green for me is the one I always use up first. I think it might have been better with the other one. There we go. So I've just done the tops. Whoops. Of there. Then I'm going to go back to my yellow. I'm going to get my second colour, and I'm just going to go flick out from the middle. I'm going over the stamens at the centre. It's fine, because what I'm going to do will be fine. It'll cover that up. So I've now got I've got my green at the outside, my stronger yellow, and then I'm just going to blend with the palest colour. So it's blending that in, and it's blending it up to the green. So my yellow becomes green at the end, and the more you blend... And I find that if you do flicking motions with your green, it will blend out better later. So we just flick. So what it does is the alcohol moves the other colour so that you don't get that harsh line. And that it's best not to leave it too long. So this one, because it's paler, is bleaching out some of the other colour so that we don't get that blend. And that's how I would go with that. If I needed to, I could always come back in and add a little bit more of the darker yellow, just again with sort of flicky motions, just like that. Okay, so then to bring in another colour, this is why I wanted to have the original tri-blends, because I've got the bullet nib, and I'm just going to go in the centres of those stamens, just doing a little dot. It's all about having the right tools, isn't it? And I knew that the brush nib wasn't right for that. I'm going to do the centre. And then the other thing I'm going to do is, that's a double line, so I'm just going to go very gently. Don't worry if it goes out a little bit, but I'm just going to bring that orange in there. Oops, I've gone over a little bit, but don't worry about it. If you really go over a lot, then if you saw a video I did the other day, I showed you how to go round with a grey pen to make the image pop, and that will again get rid of any bleed marks or where you've gone over the edges. But I'm going to be doing green there, so that'll catch it. Oh. Some people have a steadier hand than others. Mine isn't overly steady, but I'll tell you by the time I finish. Now, actual fact, this bit could get away without being coloured, and I'll show you why in a minute. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, with my palest, let's go with the brush. I'm going to use this one, slightly different colour, but I like the effect the brush gives. I'm just going to go all over with this. Now, you might have different brands of pens, but I'm sure you'll be able to find approximate colours to match this. All the time, I'm remembering my colour palette. If ever you forget, just bring it in and have a look. I'll just bring it there so that you can see all the time we're working to that colour palette. So that's how I would do the orange flower. I'm not going to do any shading on that, but you can if you want. So for the leaves, I'm going to come in with my dull green. Was that the right one? Now go in with citrus green. Go in with citrus green. I'm just going to do it all over with the citrus green. It's like it's coming out from behind, isn't it? And that's what the masking did. I love that. So I've got the dull citrus green. I'm going to get my dull green, the second one. I'm just going to go over there where it might be darker at the centre. And then before that's had time to dry, I'll get my citrus green and just blend it out. So just get that darker element towards the centre. And that's all I would do with that. This one, really, really simple. I'd get my middle yellow. I'd go all over with that. It's quite a limiting colour palette. I was thinking, oh, this is fine. You've got loads of colours. But actually, when you come to do it, it's not got that many colours to it. So you do sort of repeat, but you've got different colour options. And I'd just do that and then like that. And if you don't like how it does, just blend it out a little bit. And that's all I would do. So I would do that to here. I'd repeat that on there. I'd do it on here and on here. And like magic, here's when I finished. And I can put this onto here. One. Things like this, you can actually do. Let's change that one. So it's just like the one that I prepped and showed you. Let's do this one. This one might be the hollow one. So let's just go on there. And then we can put one. Oh yeah, they're hollow dots. Oh, that's good. I like that. Let's do two. Yep. And then we can do a third there. There we go. That is just perfect. So that is my colouring. So if I bring back my colour chart, you can see it's absolutely a perfect match, isn't it? I love that. Now I will do exactly the same with the flowers. So I would colour the flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, and there's only one extra thing I would do to the flowers. I would colour them like that and like that. I should have another one of those. Got another one of the oranges, and then I've just done the green ones like that. So I've got some dimension. Now the only thing I would do, that's right, I was going to show you, is I get my scissors. Now when I shape, I find that because this only cuts down to here, it doesn't shape as how I want to shape it. So all I do is I follow that line down and cut to there. I always do, I work on the right hand side because I'm right-handed, and I find if I don't, it doesn't look very good. But then what I do is I turn it over and do the other side from the back. If I don't, it doesn't go very curved. Maybe it's just a thing about being right-handed. You see this little bit pulls out. I know exactly where I need to go. I'm keeping it fine, popping it to there, and there you go. And I'll show you. So this now cuts down to there as opposed to here. Can you see? And that's what I've done to here, and it helps with the shaping. You can see it's a lot deeper. So although I've used the dies to cut out the bulk of it, I have then used my scissors just to add a little bit more. And the only other thing I've done, grab my ball tool, grab it on the back and shape it, because I like shaping. Now I've done 2, but at this moment in time I don't know whether I need 1 or 2. We will decide as we go along. I need a smaller ball tool for this one. Let's come around here. There we go, just like that. There we go. And I love how it sort of vintages them up a bit as well. Is that a verb, to vintage? I don't know. Who knows? Okay, so I've got all my flowers ready. Move these out of the way. And I've got my topper ready. So we need to see what we're going to stick it onto. So I have prepped this bit already. 8-inch card blank for an 8-inch envelope, so it's about 7 3/4, 7 7/8, something like that, square. I've just trimmed it down a little bit, and then I put a really nice lime green which I think goes very well with the sort of well, the lime I've got. And then this orange, and it's the same orange as I used in my last card. It was a piece left over from the Mediterranean collection from Crafters Companion. So I just used the other little bit to go on there. And then I'm going to put those on. So that is the colour palette like that. But I just feel it's lacking something. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this onto some black, and then I'm going to put the black on there. So again, I'm adding in an extra colour. But for me, it's worth it to make that really pop. So just with a little bit of tacky glue. There we go. A little bit of tacky glue on here. Now, remember on the last project I did for the colour challenge, I put red liner tape on the back because I'd used watercolour pens. And by using watercolour pens, I'd sort of bent the card. No need to do that here because alcohol pens don't do any damage to the cardstock at all. So put that on there. That goes there. I'm just giving it a warm up. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. I'm loving this. Then I need some foam tape, which I knew I'd got ready. You know me, I always like a layer of foam tape. Need some scissors. Put one. This is from Sticks 2, as always. And put that on there, and one down the middle. That should be plenty. Don't be stingy with your foam tape, otherwise your cards will sag and you'll ruin it. You'll be really disappointed. So there we go. So as always, make sure my card's the right way up. Make sure I've got this, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of wet glue on here. It can be wet glue like this. It doesn't have to be your best glue, or it can just be like a glue stick or whatever you want. So put that on to there. Now, if you have time, what you can do is you can grab yourself a stamping block, put that on top. That will hold that. That will just pressure it down just for that glue to dry. Easy tip, I just put something heavy on top. It'll be that on my water bottle. It varies, and I just find it helps to get it nice and level. Okay, so we've got that there. As I mentioned, I like to add some dimension, so let's have a look at how we're going to do this. So I've got this, and I'm just going to put that directly over the top. This is why I said you didn't need to colour, but I can, because I've added dimension, you can see it a bit underneath. What I could do, no, I'll do it that way first, and I'm going to do this with 3D glue gel. There's so much stuff on here. I craft in the smallest of spaces. Do any of you? Oh, right. But before I do that one, I'm going to stick these ones on. Again, it's all about creating that dimension. So let's just put that one over there. And this one. The tweezers is just because I find my fingers get in the way. I feel like I'm all thumbs. My hands feel so big when I'm crafting like that. So this is now, these, I'm not going to put 3D on here. So I'm going to have that mix of heights when I do that. So I'm going to give this a bit of shape. If you want to use your hot glue, that will work really well because you can then shape and it'll hold and grab really well. So I'm going to pop this one, see if I can actually match it up. Dropped it, it's fine. Put that one over there. Now, this is what I was thinking of doing, is putting the second one that way. But actually, I don't like it. I think this flower that Julia's drawn is beautiful, and I'm going to leave it at that. The only other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get these leaves, and I'm just going to pop these. So these aren't going over any inked images. These are just purely... Now, am I going to do them both that way, or am I going to do one? Might do one that side. I can put it on. I can always take it off as long as I put the glue in the right place. I can always take it off in a minute, and then I can put one like that and one just like that. There we go. And that is what I would do. So I've got myself some sentiments. These were just from a sentiment pad, and I've just mounted them onto a scrap of the orange. I'm going to put You make every day awesome. I'm going to put that up there. Again, foam pads would have worked brilliantly, but as I say to you, at best of times, I'm a lazy crafter. And I know that's going to fit into here because I sort of laid it out. If you look back at my last video, my Technique Tuesday is mapping out your layout before you do any sticking. Always is a good idea because you can see where things are likely to go wrong. Oh, got all those bits just right, didn't I? There we go, those stamp bits. So that is looking gorgeous. But the only other thing I thought I would do is I've got some Tonic Nouveau drops in orange. And I just thought, little test to check it's going right. I'd put them in the middle of there. In the middle of there. Can I get one in there? Yeah, I can even get one, a small one on there, small one on there, nice one on there. I love these because they just self-level, done like that. And then I'm going to risk it, I'm going to put a couple around the card. I know I've done the black stamp. This might be overkill. Oh, that's it, 3. Perfect. And there you go. Using my gorgeous set of stamps from the lovely Julie. This is the Fresh Floral die and stamp set. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? I knew the minute I started this was going to be just how I love to craft. I'm going to bring in my colour palette. Look at that. Look at that. I've got less of the dark green, but I've got little bits of the dark green, but I've got a lot more of the orange, the yellow and the lime on here. And of course, I've got the white as well. The black is a bonus colour. I'll give everybody black if they want to use it. So if you want to join into the colour challenge, the post is already up on my Facebook page because it went up when I launched this colour challenge on Monday. So all you need to do is create whatever you want using this colour palette. Absolutely gorgeous. And it can be using alcohol pens like I've done. It could be using watercolour like I did on Monday. It could be using glitter pastes. It could be using gilding waxes if you've got that colour. You could be using all sorts of things. You could just do it in paper and card. You could be using fabric. Whatever you want. It doesn't even have to be a card. It could be a box. It could be a soft project, you know, whatever you want, but just use these 5 colours if you can, please. Then take a picture, pop it under the post in the comments on my Facebook for the one with this one. You'll see this on the front along with a picture of the other card, and then at the end of December I will pick a winner and they will get one of my cards that I've made for the challenge. So I hope you like that, and I'd love to see you do this. I just felt like I really wanted to pick colours that were an antidote for Christmas. So if you like these, then please have a go. It'd be lovely to see you join in, but please remember to click on the subscribe if you haven't already done, and click the notification bell, and to click on any of the links in the description down below. So until next time, you take care, my friends. It's getting close to Christmas. I hope you're getting organised, and I hope everyone is keeping safe and well, and I will speak to you again soon. But if I can say it one last time, please don't forget to subscribe up here. Take care, my friends. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.